In this video, we will be calculating federal and provincial income tax. Simon earned $110,000 last year as an oil field environmentalist. How much income tax did he pay? Because Simon earned income over $87,123, but under $135,054, he falls under bracket 3. Therefore, the first $43,561 will be taxed at a rate of 25%. The next $43,562 will be taxed at 32%, and the rest of the income will be taxed at 36%. The first step is to calculate how much of his earnings fall into the third tax bracket. In order to calculate his third tax bracket earnings, you must subtract the maximum amounts from the first and second bracket. The first bracket maximum is $43,561, and the second bracket maximum is $43,562. When you subtract these amounts from the annual income, $110,000, you are left with $22,877. The next step is to calculate how much income tax is paid in each bracket. To calculate this, you must add together the income tax from each bracket. To calculate total income tax, add the first, second, and third bracket tax together. To calculate each bracket tax, multiply the tax rate by the pay for each individual bracket. To calculate first bracket tax, multiply 25% by 43,562. To calculate first bracket tax, multiply 25% by $43,561. To calculate second bracket tax, multiply 32% by $43,562. To calculate third bracket tax, multiply 36% by $22,877. Convert the percentages to decimals. Calculate the tax for each bracket by multiplying the tax rate by the pay. The first bracket tax is $10,890.25. The second bracket tax is $13,939.84. The third bracket tax is $8,235.72. When you add these values together, the resulting income tax is $33,065.81. This means that Simon paid $33,065.81 in income tax. There is another way to solve this problem. Because Simon paid the full first and second tax bracket amounts, these calculations can be skipped and replaced by $24,830.09, which is the maximum first and second bracket amounts. The first step is to calculate how much income is in the third bracket and then calculate the income tax for that bracket. In order to calculate the third bracket tax earnings, you must subtract the maximum tax amounts for the first and second brackets from the total annual income. So to calculate the income tax, add the first and second bracket tax to the third bracket tax. The first and second bracket tax is $24,830.09. In order to calculate the third bracket tax, you must multiply the third bracket tax rate by the third bracket pay. The third bracket tax rate is 36%, and the third bracket pay is $22,877. Convert the percentages to decimals by dividing by 100. 0.36 multiplied by 22,877 amounts to a total of $8,235.72. Now $24,830.09 must be added to the $8,235.72 calculated, which results in a total income tax of $33,065.81. Therefore, Simon paid $33,065.81 in income tax.